A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sulbha Shantwan. I'm the founder director of Sandbox Academy of Alternative Learning. The vision of Sandbox is basically to help students who want to pursue their education in a different way apart from the conventional education system. So we are basically dealing in developing the skills of the children so that they are equipped to face the future with a more empowered state of mind. So that's a little about me. I want to welcome you all to Visionary Women's Panel Discussion, yet again, a very important topic, that is how do we empower women in STEAM education. Visionary Women's Circle is a premium platform, a subsect of VDO community, aimed at fostering a dynamic and mutually beneficial ecosystem for our members, mentors, advisors, and corporate supporters. This ecosystem aims to facilitate meaningful connections, knowledge exchange, and collaborative ventures. The circle seeks to empower its members through various initiatives and activities with a focus on thought leadership and innovation, relationship, cultivation, business engagement, and collaborations, where members can grow, learn, collaborate, and thrive in their respective fields, ultimately contributing to a stronger, more interconnected, as well as a professional community. If you all are looking for membership, there is a link that goes below, and you all can click on the link and get in touch with us. So today we want to welcome three very dynamic women entrepreneurs and mentors in the field who are going to talk to us about this particular topic, which is very, very important. So I would like to welcome on stage Swapna Kulkarni, who's also the president of VDO. I want to welcome Swapna, and hi, Swapna. Thank you for being
Hi,
on this.
Shilpa. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Yes, Swapna is a founder of Abhilab Group. So I would like Swapna to tell a little bit more about herself before we welcome the other guests. Over to you, Swapna.
Certainly. Thank you so much, Shilpa. Thank you for this opportunity, and I'm really happy to be here today on this really dynamic topic. So, a little more about me is I'm a founder of Abilab Group, and we are basically into consulting of solar energy. So, we are in the field of renewable energy, where we basically help anyone who's in need of solar, like be it societies, be it schools, colleges, hospitals, be it solar parks or factories. So we are basically the people who help you put up the solar plants. So we undertake end-to-end project management in solar sector. So that's my primary area of business. And just one more another one that I have is I'm into agricultural exports as well. So here I'm promoting green and sustainability, green energy and clean energy. So that's about me. Thank you for this, Sabha.
Lovely, lovely, Swapna. We'll look forward to talking more about your venture and how you support
Pleasure.
STEAM.
Absolutely.
I would now like to welcome our second panelist, who is Bhavna ma'am, who is the founder director of Button and Button. Welcome, ma'am, on this show.
Uh, Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Silva, and good to see you, Swapna. Hi. And so this is Bhavna Sresht. I'm the founder of a sustainable organic brand called Button and Button. We are based out of Mumbai, and just to put it in a nutshell, we are trying to create a community and build that community where we can get artisans and people on the same platform. I know there's a lot of work happening in the sustainable space, but our motive is to bring just not the artisans, but restore and also contribute to the handlooms and handicrafts of India in a different way, where we could bring in a signature of Button and Button. So that's our purpose. We want to go global, and we are working towards it. So thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Amazing. Looking forward to learning so much more from you, ma'am. All
Thank
right.
you.
Let's invite our third panelist all the way from Pakistan who is joining us
Yay.
today. And I'm so happy to welcome her on the stage. This is Haika Umer, who is from Girl Power Talk. Haika, we welcome you with warm arms. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I am Haika Omer from Pakistan, and I am a young leader at Girl Power Talk. And being a huge supporter of women empowerment and entrepreneurship, I'm here to share my views and to do anything for the support of women and startups and whoever is, whoever wants to contribute to this world through her efforts by being empowered through uh, through everything, whatever they want. So thank you so much, ma'am. I look forward to hearing from you again. Thank you.
Amazing. So we welcome all three panelists today, and let's get to our topic for today. So we've been talking about empowerment of women, especially in the field of STEAM. So Bhavna ma'am, I would like to start with you.
Sure.
What do you think? How important is STEAM in
Yeah.
today's world? What is the importance of
Well,
STEAM?
I think STEM is very, very important in all aspects of life. In fact, I would like to, kind of quote on that, that, life has a very important role to, so what is STEM? First of all, I think we need to, kind of share that. I'm sure many of them know about it, but we need to talk about it. So it's science, technology, engineering, and, memory.
Mathematics.
So this is maths. So in life, all these four aspects are very, very important. Coming from talking about science gives you a lot of curiosity. It gives you, questioning, the power of questioning. It encourages you to find why, who, and how. It also, and your technology gives you a sign, a kind of inspires you to look at your creativity, your genuinity, your finding on that. And your engineering is more about fixing things, putting things together, collaborations, contributions, communication. And
Yes.
math, out of all, math is like, life is all about math. We need to always structure life if we are looking for growth, if we are looking for right direction, if we need to focus on our energies. So it's like 2 into 2 is always going to be 4. It cannot be 5.
Yes.
And if we focus on these areas, and I think every child, unfortunately, we come from an education system which has not, really brought us to. There is always a disparity between the real and the, and the theory, and that real life is never being taught in our primitive, most important days. It's all about just the books. It's all about the theory, which unfortunately, especially for women, because they are brought up, and till date we are in a 21st century, we still believe that ladkiyan badi hongi, and all they have to do is go get married and look after
Yeah.
family, look after children, and that's their primary work, their primary agenda, and that's how we are brought up. So unfortunately, we are never equipped mentally, or neither physically and emotionally. None of these three aspects are ever equipped. That you are here in the real world, there is always going to be challenges. I'm not saying battles, but challenges, which is very important for you to drive as an individual. Of course, you are a mother, of course, you are a daughter, of course, you're a wife, and you will, look after. But to how to be equipped. So, STEM is a very important aspect where we are equipped mentally. So our brain wires are never, equipped that way. We are never given that opportunity to reason, to question. We are told, don't question, this is written. I feel very strongly, I come from a very liberal parents. They, in our way back times, we were really given that opportunity to question, to ask, to reason, to explore. Possibly, even today, we don't have the possibilities of exploring. Hence, today we do and VWC are really giving that opportunity and a platform for many women, who are exploring their potential also. So there are a lot of, I know, who are homemakers, and they're doing smaller businesses, startups. I know many of them which are there in Mumbai, Chennai, all of it, who are still figuring out and taking, grappling with how to deal with the real world. I'm also part of it. I'm not saying I'm absolutely tech savvy, because today you need to be. Wish we were told this 30 years back, we would be better equipped today. So I feel this is one aspect which needs to be ingested from the word go, and especially for women. So they are equipped to deal with life, equipped to deal with any challenges, any opportunities coming in. I think that will be the best thing, and VWC is doing a great job in that. I think all I have lot of gratitude and lot of highly thankful to Kadambari to even think to put up this platform for women, which could
Absolutely.
encourage people across globe. So yeah, that's my take on it. Yes.
Very, very well put, actually. You summed it up very beautifully, how each and every aspect of our life is weaved into STEAM and why it is important. Haika, next I would like to hear from you. Coming from Pakistan, what do you think has been your journey so far? Has it been what Bhavna ma'am mentioned, like, has it been a struggle area to come out of your zone? Because I know you're a biotechnologist, if I'm correct. Yes, so
Yes.
coming from there, so how was it as your journey, individual journey? Were you allowed to do stuff? Were you allowed to go wrong? Were you allowed to reason and question, like ma'am said? Or were there some obstacles?
Yeah, I'll start with that. I am the first girl from my town who went to the hostel for studying for the graduation. So it
Amazing.
was
Wow.
easy for me, but not so easy for me. Like, in our society, girls are told that you cannot study engineering, you cannot do computer science, go in the medical, study biology, or something stuff like this. So, from childhood, my motive was to be a doctor. But unfortunately, I didn't, pass the test. So, I went into biotechnology. But now, being a part of Girl Power Talk, when I joined Girl Power Talk, I saw and I realized that I would have performed better in STEM if I was an engineer, or if I would have studied in computer science. It would be much better because I am so good at it. I realized that in Girl Power Talk, that in our society, our brothers, our boys would tell us that you cannot type well, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. So I realized and I proved them that I can do it, and
Yes.
I am now. It was my dream that I wanted to work in an office. So it somehow, it got fulfilled that now I work in my home by using my laptop, but it feels like that I'm working from an office. So
Amazing.
it's amazing, and I think it's never easy for girls in Asian region to study STEM or pursue their careers in STEM. So it takes a lot of courage and a lot of support from their loved ones, special ones, to have to say them that go achieve your goals. It's very important. So that's, I think it was never an easy journey, but it was somehow easy for me because I had the courage for it.
Hmm.
I wanted to do it, so I did it.
Amazing. And was your family by your side?
Yes, my mother was always by my side. She supported me throughout my career. And recently, I asked her that I want to do my master's because I graduated in 2022 and I took a break. I wanted to do internships and explore more about my field, do some practical work. So I asked her that I want to pursue my master's degree. So she said that go abroad and study there. So it was an honor for me that at least my mother, understands me and helps me to pursue my goals. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure. I mean, it is really very encouraging, when we have other women by our side. And I think, as Bhaurava mentioned very rightly, we have so many women by our side who are supporting each other and not pulling each other down. Swapna, next I would like to hear from you. Like, you are a founder of a big group who is doing multiple activities. Do you ever realize in your particular field this gender bias or disparity between, this particular job, as Haika mentioned, or even Bhavna ma'am mentioned, that, this particular job needs to be done by a man, this needs to be done by a woman. How is it in your field? We would like to know.
Yes, Shilpa, as you know, we all know today, we still live in a male dominant society, and there
Yes.
is still a lot of gender bias approach even today. you know. Though I would not say that it is not it's very difficult. I would still say yes, now things are getting better, because a lot of even men are coming in support. But I think the organizations, the women led organizations, or such platforms like what we have today at We Do, what we have at VWC, these platforms are coming handy, because that's when women also are getting their potential out, which
Yes.
was not accessible. So I think today, yes, challenges are there, but at the same time, with the challenges, I feel there are also ways to cater to those challenges. I mean, we are finding ways, we are finding options, we are having that kind of resources. But yes, there is still a challenge when it comes to looking at a woman entrepreneur. For example, today I belong to the one of the STEM fraternity. I belong to the engineering sector, and also technology. I think today everyone is part of technology sector. So you know uh, today, of course, in spite of women being there, doing that business, generating that kind of revenue, but still somewhere they are not given that right platform. And
Yes.
that is the major challenge. I mean, at my place today, I'm the first generation entrepreneur in my family, and luckily I have the family support. I will not deny that support, but still there is some kind of skepticism that's there, because it's a different field. It's a dynamic field, it's an ever changing field. You need to be up to the mark, you need to give that kind of timelines, that kind of efforts, and all of that. So as Bhavna also rightly said, that yes, the societal expectations are still there, being a woman. And
Yes.
though we have access to technology, though we have access to the information, but we still do not have access to a lot of the things which will give you that kind of place that
Yes.
you would otherwise a male would get. I mean, nothing against anyone, everything is, I think they are putting their kind of efforts, they're trying to
Absolutely.
be there. But when it comes to looking upon a woman entrepreneur, there is still questions and skepticism in mind. So yes, there I would definitely say there are still a long way to go, though there are some foots forward coming forward
Yeah.
to help, but it's a long way to go for women entrepreneurs.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
true, Swapna, you're very correct. Like, slow but surely we are reaching where we have to reach, and I'm
Yes.
sure, as each one of us in some way mentioned that we have supportive families who have been behind us as strong support. Whether it is our mom, dad, brother, sister, friends, family, whoever, which has kept us afloat so far, so good. Bhavna,
Yes.
ma'am, coming back to you, what like really, and because I was going through the great work that you're doing, in terms of your industry, I was really intrigued to know, like, what inspired you to kind of, bridge this gap, or like what was the thought process? I'm like really
So,
eager to know what was the thought process, that how did you think that, okay, I want to
okay.
merge these two sectors.
So I'll tell you, I have said this story before also on Vidu platform, but I would like to, kind of share. So I come from a legacy. My father was one of the first pioneers to bring in screen printing to India way back in 60s. And I have closely seen him work with the artisans of the country, length and breadth. Hence, I have a travel, DNA in me. I love traveling, and probably that's how it all started. And so I was always fascinated by the handlooms and handicrafts of India. It's just one of the most blissful experiences, and I think it's most, as a curious child, I was always very, very intrigued, and colors and fascination for that. And that's how it all started. Unfortunately, I lost my father very early. I was 11 years old, and the paths changed. I have been in the creative field for almost 25 years, but I have been telling stories. I've been a filmmaker, but this has been back of my mind. I did a lot of documentaries on handlooms and all of that, so traveled, understood where the ground realities are. And I think COVID brought a little bit of insight into it, and I have to contribute, like this little girl Haika. I have a young daughter, and she is absolutely instrumental in me to start this journey of mine. she has pushed me, and really for a couple of years, and said that this is what you need to do, because this is also something which is very close to my heart, and I'm very passionate, and I this is my contribution or payback to my way of paying back to the community. So that's how artisans were always back of my mind. I very support all artisans of this country with all my heart. I have always done that, and I keep saying that those people are real heroes and amazing artists of this country. We really don't value them, and we need to. So Button and Button is just making that effort and trying to bring that to the forefront. That's how my vision is to Button and Button. So
Hmm.
even though the name is very quirky, but I have a philosophy around it, and which I have said earlier also, that we are so buttoned up in our life that through this journey of ours, we want to unbutton and bring in a little more light, and a little more happiness, and a little more love and compassion out there for everybody.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And did you like, continuing the question, like, do you notice a lot of women artisans, or, since we're talking about women
So
in the,
I'm very strongly supportive of women, but
okay, so
like
beautiful.
we still have, like we say, in that particular area, there is still gender bias. There is still men who work more. Women
Right.
are always at the back end, because it's always been a very male dominated space. But I feel, even if they are contributing, their women behind are doing a lot of work. So when I travel Northeast is very matriarchal, and they
Hmm.
are at the forefront. So when I was
Yeah.
doing a travel show in 2019, I met some amazing artisans, and women artisans who are really contributing, and they are doing massive work. So like I can talk about
Hmm.
a woman who is right now the head of 100 villages, and she
Wow.
drives all those women to basically do organic plantation. I salute that woman. She's absolutely not educated. She's fifth
Hmm.
pass, but she has created that world that today that particular area of Meghalaya is reached to the global map
Hmm.
just by her contribution. So I feel education, more than, like, that's why I said STEM is your life mantra. It cannot be just education. If that
Correct.
is with you, these are your equipments and tools to basically reach out and be, kind of raise your, have your voice out there in the world. So I think
Hmm.
everybody needs to do that. So that's how my journey has been. It's a baby step. We started in 2022. We're just not even 2 years old, but that's the mission. That's the vision, to be there.
Very inspiring. That it's correctly said, right? Leadership doesn't need any form or place. It comes in any form. So this is, I mean, a
That's it.
classic example of that. And I think if a woman decides that she needs to do it, I think there is no stopping her
Yeah, I
ever.
know. A lot of
May it be
questions
from
came
any
in.
background.
Why at this age? Why at this juncture? But I feel there is no age barrier. I think whenever you start, it's always,
Absolutely,
right. And if your intentions are right, I think you can put it together. That's how I have lived.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Haika, back to you. Tell us more about this Girl Power Talk. It's a really catchy name, and I was really intrigued to know more about what is it that you all do, because I know that you'll conduct some talk shows and you'll actually encourage young people. So, would like to hear from you.
Yes, the Girl Power Talk is actually an incredible organization and which is a huge supporter of women empowerment, and it also supports LGBTQ and but I can say that it accepts all kinds of humans. There is no sense of gender disparity or discrimination among any of the individuals. It also features the we can say the entrepreneurs and the people who have done great in their work. It features and took interviews from them, and then we publish it in our web page. And also it this community is more driven towards the gender equality. So the
Hmm.
basic purpose is to promote gender equality across the globe. It hires all over the globe. Like I am from Pakistan. it's been at least 10 months I am being here at Gulf Power Talk, but I never felt any discrimination based on our countries. Uh, there is always a kind of war between these two countries since ages. But I
Yes.
never felt that I am from Pakistan and the majority is from India. There was always a sense of equality, and they like helped me feel heard. Whatever opinion I give, whatever I say, I never felt that I am being discriminated based on my country or based on my gender. So that's a very great thing. And it's the sister company of Blue Ocean Global Technology, which is a digital marketing company and helps organizations to improve their online presence. So yeah.
Amazing. I think Haika here has brought about a very important point about inclusivity. I mean, here we were just talking about, women empowerment and stuff like that. But I think she's talking even beyond, and she's talking about inclusivity in totality. So, Swapna, I would like to know from you, like, in your organization, do you all have any such initiatives? First of all, do you all have an inclusive environment? Are you all open to all type of people? As Haika mentioned, it doesn't matter any country, they belong to any race, creed, religion. So, how is it in your organization? And are there any initiatives specifically that you all do to make everybody feel one?
Yes. So I think, Sulba, a very nice point by Haika definitely here that inclusivity is today very important because, instead of looking at people if people is for some other country or some other religion or some other caste or creed or whatever, I think it's important to look at the talent the people bring in, or the kind of information they bring in, the kind of expertise they bring in with them. So that is something which is more important because at the end of it, you're working towards creating, a nature or creating something which is for your own benefit, which is for your own good, and of course, giving back to the society. I come this because I am into a subject or basically an organization which is working for the society. So it's not only looking at how I'm going to make a revenue out of it, but the intention behind it is what am I giving back to the society in terms of today I'm talking about sustainability, I'm talking about green energy, I'm talking about clean environment. So I think it is important to have the like-minded people with the right kind of thoughts and the similar vision that you share. And I think it can come across from all the people because at the end of it we work on humanity grounds, we work on as being a people's person. So yes, we are absolutely working with people who come from different backgrounds but yet have a similar vision, share the similar vision, believe in us, and we believe in their work. And the acknowledge the expertise that they bring with them is very very important. And I think that's where we I think are again promoting inclusivity again with being an organization into multiple things. And I think today bringing such people together is very very important. Otherwise then there's no difference between what others do and what we are doing. But yes,
Exactly.
that's completely important. Yes.
Very well said, Swapna. Very well said. And I totally agree with you. We need diversity. We need people from different fronts. We to
Yes.
bring about that element of variety, to bring about a difference in the perspectives that we bring onto the table. So,
Right.
speaking of that, Bhavna ma'am, do you think that like what exactly would be the role of, say, for example, VWC, for example, for all of us, has been like a mentorship program, right? It's not just been a platform for us to showcase our talents, but it's also been more about like a mentorship program, something to make us think deeper. So, how important do you think these mentorship programs will be for, say, the younger generation to foster their interest in these respective field or to build their confidence in STEAM? How do you think that
I
role
think
plays?
that is the key, which is very very important, and that's what I said, that it should actually be part of the curriculum where children are being, they're mentored to understand the real life or the real world out there. So tomorrow when we have the engineers, doctors, technologists, bio technologists, all of that, if they're given a process which is well defined in and an opportunity to actually harness this at a very young age, So
Hmm.
it's very important. And mentorship, like, we, our parents are our first mentors, but I think beyond that, with today, with the cutthroat situations, with the with the way world is expanding, digitization is fully out there globally, we are all getting connected, but yet there is every day a new thing happening. Now AI has come, so AI also has another plan which is coming in. So every day it's like you're competing with your, not only your the outside world, in fact your own knowledge and your own know-how. So I think mentorship is an extremely important aspect for any individual, whether it's a man or a woman, or any gender, because it's not gender specific. It's more
Exactly.
about, as humans, we need to get evolved and explore, and yet also be updated. So mentorship is an extremely important part for any growth in life. It's either your life, your profession, your personal relationships, your emotional well-being, your mental health, all of it. So I think mentorship should be the key reason, and we generally, as Indians or Asians, do not focus on that.
Correct. Correct.
Suddenly in last few years we are talking about mental health. Where was it? It has always been a problem, it's
It's
always
always
been
been.
there.
I
It's just
agree.
that we've never out there and spoken. So I think, and being a conservative, family spaces we come from, there is
Hmm.
not being, communication has never been the focus. It's never
Yes.
been an area which needs to be taught, spoken, or even discussed. So I
Hmm.
think mentorship helps people to communicate. And I think every women entrepreneur or every human being on this planet would say that for anything to grow, anything to be to be in the happy space, communication is the key. The
Yes.
big C is something which is to be done at all levels, from a child to a 80-year-old, because communication is going to break all barriers, find your spaces, and make a very harmonious living for us as human beings on this planet. So I think mentorship is the key factor for all of
Hmm.
us. So it comes in
Very
all
rightly said.
forms.
Yeah, correct. Continuing with the point, one of the points that ma'am raised, Haika, since I know that you are also into designing some educational material, and she said that STEAM has to be inculcated in education system. How do you think STEAM education can be made more relatable to today's age children? Because we are seeing that everything is around them, and we know that sustainability is a very big issue as of today. So, keeping these points in mind, what do you suggest should be, or what should be the objectives of STEAM education in today's world?
Yes, so as ma'am explained earlier that mentorship is very important. I think in our school levels or in our primary levels, mentorship is not provided to the students. Um,
Hmm.
Parents don't discuss it with their children that what is STEM, what is biology, what is medical. They should know what is it. Like when I was in my childhood, I didn't know what is engineering, what is what can we do in computer science. I was just told that she is gonna be a doctor. So I had that thing in my mind right from the beginning that I am going to be a doctor. Though when I became older, I got to realize that I have something in me related to STEM. That's why I pursued biotechnology when I was given a chance. So I think mentorship is very important right from the beginning. Parents and teachers should should tell their children and students that what is STEM and how can we get benefit from it if we pursue it in our careers. This thing, and also the awareness campaigns and also the mentorship programs. I think media has now become a very good agent in
Hmm.
letting people and students know about different fields and different perspectives. I think we should allow our children to use it and to get knowledge about it. When we have the enough knowledge, we'll able to decide that yes, this is our path. We can follow it and achieve our goal. When if we are not aware of that, how can we pursue it? So that's the
Exactly.
question. I think awareness is the key. And again, as ma'am said, communication is the key at all points.
Yeah, yeah. Sabna, similar question to you, especially in your field, since you are into technology, you are into solar energy, as well as agricultural products and that kind of an export area. So basically, if you look at your particular field, it is very cross disciplinary. So how important do you think in today's time this cross curricular curriculum is important, or interdisciplinary curriculum is important according to you, since you are experiencing it on a daily level?
See, I mean, it's really important because, at the end of it, you need to know how you need to function. See, generating an ideation or generating an idea of a business definitely is there. You can think 10,000 things or random things, but to channelize it, and for that, you need this kind of, I would say, experience also and information also. And as even Haika and Bhavna insisted that a right kind of a mentor is extremely important to guide you through this, because your the expertise comes into picture, the knowledge that comes into picture, and this entire journey, you are just not looking at how you're going to run the business. There's lots more behind it in terms of your state of mind, with coming considering the challenges that you look at, considering the at times the failures, which are again very important for a business, because that's when you know what is not to be done. So in this entire journey, very important is you also getting that kind of support, that kind of emotional support, that kind of support in terms of how you're going to navigate your business. So that is where I think these all factors really are very important, because they actually help you to understand, to learn, to grow, and to successfully run any kind of business, and for that matter, in my case today, when I am into two different fields, of course I'm in question that, where are these two fields connected? They are so different from each other. But if you see from my perspective, for me it's more to do with sustainability, it's more to do with helping our society. Again, when I
Yeah.
talk about solar, I talk about giving back to society in terms of clean energy. When I talk about agriculture, I talk about giving back to my country, to my farmers, and looking at what they are growing, exporting it to another countries. So for me, it's one thing. For people, it might be two different things. Okay, they might not understand the correlation, but for me, this is what I relate to. And to get this kind of guidance, I need someone who can tell me, yes, probably this is what you need to do, that is what you need to do. So that is where and the kind of process I need to follow, the kind of discipline that I need to maintain to run this thing successfully. So I certainly need some kind of guidance, or for that matter, anybody would need some kind of this, cross connection or cross expertise that you need to run the business. So that only can come through a right kind of mentorship, who can guide you with the right kind of mindset. Because at the end of it, to run anything, most important thing is your right mindset to do it. So that is when I think all these things will fall in place, when you have the right kind of mindset to do a thing. And then of course you are then open to find the avenues, the resources, the right kind of people who can guide you and help you out. So that is where I think I come from.
Yeah, true. I mean, just that attitude, learner's attitude, you can call
Yes,
it, just having that itself plays a very vital role in learning anything,
absolutely.
be it business, be
Absolutely.
it subject knowledge, right? When we
Absolutely.
are talking about, especially a field like yours, which is challenging, yes, because of the
Yes.
diversity and the richness of different aspects in it. So yeah,
Correct.
definitely that works. Bhavna,
So
ma'am, coming to
that
you.
goes actually, in every field. If you see Sulbha, that goes even when, like how even Bhavna mentioned, that the kind of efforts that even she's put to understand her industry, you
Exactly.
know, be it about fabrics, be it about textiles, be it about the artisans, the kind of artwork is there, the kind of people that are putting the kind of hard work, or that matter for the high cover, the kind of work that she's doing in women empowerment. I mean, everything needs that kind of study, and more. The first main mantra is to learn, and to learn you need to unlearn and then learn. So you need to have an open mindset and open attitude towards it. So that's again very important.
Absolutely, very well said, Swapna. And Bhavna ma'am, that brings me to one more question. See, we are talking about, yes, we still are living in a very male dominant industry, but we are still finding our way. We've established that fact, right? Having said that, do you think it's a good idea to have men as our allies and, create like a partnership, maybe even create awareness in them, bring them on our side, and walk the path together? Do you think that would be
Absolutely,
a good idea?
100%, 100%. That's very important. And today, I must say, there are a lot of men who are evolved, who are supportive, who are understanding. I mean, coming from Dr. Manaf, our chairman at We Do, I think the first and foremost gentleman who has really, hand-holded now VWC
Yes.
and We Do, and he's all out there to empower women. What a better way, a man with a vision who feels, in fact, his company is called She Finance, which is going to look after, the women entrepreneurs. I think it's amazing. So there are definitely visionaries, there are definitely people, men, and I think I always believe that it's a world of equality, and we should respect that. It cannot be, we are not feminists here who are taking a jhanda and saying, okay, we are here and listen to us. We have men at home, we have our children, we have boys, we have husbands, brothers, all of it. And we need to just like I said, communication. So the communication and just making yourself speak out and say what you
Hmm.
want. I think any reasonable human being will understand what you want to put forth, whether it's a man or a woman, anybody. I think we need to just learn the processes, and that's where STEM, I said that process is something which we haven't learned. And like Swapna rightly said, we need to unlearn to learn today, because we have come with a certain mindset. We've been brought up, a lot of generation has gone into it. Today's children, of course, are exploring because there's a digital world out there, but still they need to be guided, they need to be, for them the opportunities are there, but yet it's equally challenging. So I think mentorship and men both have to be hand in hand. And I think the start has to from home, and then it goes on to, we have colleagues. I work in a completely, I think 90% are male in the film fraternity. There are very few women who are still finding
Yes.
feet. And I work with all kinds, from my spot boy to my director, all of them are men. And it's just that how you put that thing. I was right now doing a series which has just gone off air, where I had 500 men on my set every day.
Wow.
Yeah, and it is to deal, everybody has a different mindset. There is
Exactly.
a spot dada, there is a lighting guy, there are all kinds of people. And you just need to and you are driving the project. So when you're driving, you know that it's going to be challenging, because there will never be agreeing. Now there's always a disagreement. How do you make it into an agreement is your skill. So I think that
Yes.
skill is very important, and the skill is communication. No other skill. There's no tactics to it. There's no manipulation. There is no politics. It's just communication. Ki, gentlemen, this is what we want to do. This is how we want to do. Let's come to a common ground. I will hear you. You hear me, and let's
Hmm.
make it happen. Because that's the only way you can work. So there has to be so first of all knowledge, then obviously the processes, thirdly communication, and fourthly how, with lot of understanding and compassion, we both, all genders can work together in unison, if we just put it rightly. So I think awareness, like Haika said, awareness is very important, communication is
Hmm.
important, mentorship is important. These are tools for in the process. And I think we
Yes.
all can have a very beautiful growth and harmony, building our entrepreneurs, and also building a community. Because what are we doing this for? We're doing this to build a beautiful community out there for our children, generations to come, and have a more harmonious environment to grow and to live. So I think
Yes.
that should be the way out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I 100% agree with you that, all these elements are only going to make the world a better place. Nothing
Absolutely.
more, nothing less. That's all that
Absolutely.
we want. And I
Yeah.
think somewhere in a small capacity, each one of us is basically trying to achieve that.
Yes.
Haika, if you were to give an advice to, these young girls who are wanting to enter into the STEAM field today, especially the ones who are coming from, say, underrepresented communities, what would be your advice to them when they are entering into this field? Because
Uh,
you mentioned somewhere in your conversation that I wish I would have done STEAM or somebody would have told me about it. So today you have the chance to kind of talk to these girls. So what would be your advice to them?
yes, I would say that follow your heart. First, get to know about different fields and different careers. First, get a full knowledge about that, and then follow your heart. Whatever you feel like, go for it. If you have your mindset according to that, you will eventually achieve it. And yes, ma'am, I want to add something. I would say that there is a huge stigma nowadays that get married and marry and stop working and stop studying. I would say that I would never, say that don't get married. I would say get married, but get married to a man who will be with you always, who will support you in your career, in your future, and in your whatever you want to do. He will be with you. He would not be standing behind you. He won't be, standing ahead you, but he will would be standing with you. I think that's a huge blessing in our society if we get that kind of man. So look for that kind of man. I think this advice I wanted to give to all the young girls. And for the career, I would say just follow your heart and set your mind to it. You will eventually achieve it. Thank you, ma'am. That's it.
Lovely. I think that is very important what you said, that we don't want a man who will move ahead or behind us, but with us. That's so profound, Haika, especially coming from a young girl like you. I think it's very admirable. Sapna, coming to you, like, if we were to say, in conclusion, give some practical steps to many listeners who we have over here about, how we can support inclusivity in terms of gender, in terms of religion, in terms of caste, in terms of your preferences, that as well as have a very supportive environment, as we discussed in our conversation, for each one of us to thrive. So do you have some practical steps to share with our audience today as to how we can achieve this, or what could be certain initiatives that we can take as our organizations to achieve this?
Certainly, I think Siba, inclusivity, as I mentioned in the past, also is really, really important because we are here not looking at a man or a woman or anyone, but we are here looking at talent. We are looking at knowledge. We are looking at expertise. So that is something which I think we all should consider when we are really wanting to associate with people, or trying to work around with people, or trying to include people in our organizations to grow. So because if you make people feel that they are wanted, they are heard, you respect their knowledge, you respect their talent, they give you 100 times more in return.
No
So
doubt.
that is again a very, very important aspect. And for us, I think it's very important that from a very early age we should be looking at really exploring these fields, because today the biggest challenge is, especially for women, I would like to highlight here, is why we always have a question that why there is less number of women today who are entrepreneurs or who are successful or who are at the top. Though the picture we see is changing, but it is not. It's still very, very low in percentage. Why? Because we do not have enough role models. We do not have enough mentors. That has to change, and that will only change by gaining knowledge. And the knowledge gaining is not a one night job, it's something which will come with time. So you need to give yourself time to learn, to understand the technology, to learn how it works, your own interest. So there are a lot of things that will come with it. But to get where you want to, the learning has to begin at a very early stage in your life. And of course, with that also comes the technology. I mean, I think we should be feeling really blessed that we have so much of avenues. Going back even 10 years back, we did not have this kind of facilities. Like when we were in college, we knew only three fields: science, arts, commerce.
Yes.
Beyond that, we didn't know what has to be done. If you're going in commerce, you're going to be an accountant. If you go in science, you can be a doctor or an engineer. Or if you're going in arts, you can be a teacher. Or you can go to home science, is what we knew. But today, our generations or our children has so many avenues. And I think even parents, should take this initiative to allow their kids to come forward, the girl children to come forward, to learn, because there's so much of talent today. It's just that it's unexplored because they don't get the right opportunity. So that is where I think even parents also need to have an open mind. And again, as rightly Bhavna said, that we are not against men or against anybody else, because they are also an equally important part of our society.
Yeah.
So so they are also the breadwinners. They're running the house. They're equally contributing in their best way. And if today we try to take their place, they are going to be insecure, and obviously then there's this opposition that is going to come forward. Instead, have that healthy conversation, have that communication, exchange your ideas, exchange your thoughts, and come to a mutual way that we get support of each other to do things. That's
Yeah.
again very important. That will actually cut down the gender bias thing that's happening. So I think that's again very important. So coming back to your question, that yes, it's very important for even girls to start learning from the very early age, understand what it is all about, understand your level of interest in it, if you really want to do wonders in this field. And I think there is so much attached to these fields today, be it science,
Yes.
be it technology, be it mathematics, be it engineering, and girls are doing really well in this field. It's just a matter of giving yourself time, understanding it, following your passion. As Haika rightly said, go with your heart, follow your passion, and I think sky's the limit, and you can really do wonders.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, we can honestly go on and on. I mean, all your
Absolutely.
insights have been so wonderful. I mean, just to sum it up, I think what we've heard from our, esteemed panelists today, dear audience, is that, the role of a woman is not easy. It definitely comes with loads of challenges, but just having the right mindset, as our panelists have discussed, having that attitude to learn and unlearn at times, being inclusive in our thought processes first, and then in our communities, and then bringing each and every aspect together, I think waves a beautiful path for any woman to thrive, not only in STEAM fields, but I think in every field that they wish to. And I think with this note, I would really like to thank all the guests who are here today for sharing such beautiful, wholehearted knowledge sharing, as well as your journeys, which was so inspiring. So thank
Thank
you,
you so
Swapna,
much.
Bhavna ma'am, and Haika for joining us,
Thank
especially
you.
Thank you,
Haika
Silba.
for
Yes,
joining us
Yes.
on
Thank you
thank you,
Focus.
so
Haika. We are really, really, privileged to have you here, and
much.
very happy to see a young girl doing so well. And we hope to meet at
Absolutely.
some point. You're our neighboring friend, so yes, surely.
Thank you so much, Van. Thank you so much.
Very
It's an
inspiring,
honor.
Hi. Very
Yeah.
inspiring, Haika. I mean, it's really inspiring. And Silba, thank you so much for being a wonderful host. And,
Yes.
one point not to miss in this entire conversation, even Bhavna brought that out, that today we share this common platform of VWC, which is a Vision
Yes.
Womanry Circle. And I think such platforms are really required, because this is how where we can even reach women, and we can
Yes.
inspire them, we can encourage them to come forward.
Yeah.
And what a blessing it is that we have such a wonderful mentor with us today, who is
Yes.
basically really pouring his heart out to us, and that's Dr. Abdul Manaf, and our founder Kadambari, whom I don't really forget every time that whenever I am there on this discussion, being a host or or a panelist, that it's her vision,
Yes.
and we
Yes.
need such people who have this vision. And I think we all are a part of it today, very happy and very proud to be in this journey with her, and
Yeah.
trying our best to really make that kind of small difference that we can to every other woman we meet. So yes, I think it's a big gratitude to these all people and you wonderful ladies, and I'm really blessed to have you as my
Yeah,
friends. I can really call
we
them
all are
proudly.
blessed to have each other, because I think the
Absolutely.
support is the
Yes.
first, step where you know that you have a, somebody to fall back. And I think we have VWC and Vido to fall back.
Absolutely.
And I think
Absolutely.
that's a huge support coming in. And I think 2015, when Kadambari thought about it, I don't know what was in her head at that point of time, but she has
True.
really
True.
created this whole, structure, a space for everybody. And I think that's, remarkable. And
Yeah.
I think
Totally.
we all have a lot of, gratitude to her. And let's
Totally.
keep rocking as women power,
Yes.
and be,
Yes.
work in hand with everybody out here in the world. So, and,
True.
Yes.
True.
and make our voice heard. So that's,
Yes.
on that note, thank you so much, all of you. God bless, and lovely
Thank you.
evening together.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you
all.
so
Thank you,
much.
Haika. Thank you, Sulba.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Bhavna.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sulba. Thanks.
Thank you, audience.